Hello, I'm calling to leave a message for Senator Snow. My name is Heather White and I live in Bar Harbor. As your constituent, I'm calling to ask you to support strong climate legislation.
That includes a science-based cap on greenhouse gas emissions with no loopholes or giveaways to polluters.
I urge you to protect Maine's way of life and our economy by supporting strong policies in Congress that will generate green jobs for the people of Maine.
This is incredibly important to me, and I hope you will
use your key votes to support strong climate legislation for the people of Maine and of this country.
Thank you for your leadership
so far on this issue.
Thank you for your leadership so far on this issue.
The planet's heating up, and the planet's heating up at a rate that is surprising most people. Climate change is happening, it's here, and the time to act is now. So what I'm doing, what the students are doing in the practical activism class is just getting those skills to be able to act, to be able to put pressure on their legislators, on Congress people, to be able to help other people understand how to engage, and to, they're becoming the leaders of tomorrow. They're going to be our climate leaders, and it's the folks in the practical activism class that are really going to be making change and making sure that we've got a planet 50 years or 100 years from now. They went through a process of mapping out the climate issue and trying to figure out what their own resources were to see what, as students at COA, they might engage in where they'd have some impact, they'd have some effect on the climate issue. So that was the first thing. It was just trying to figure out where they could best put their effort. And they decided it was to focus on the two senators of Maine, the two Republican senators, Olympia Snow and Susan Collins, because they're moderate Republicans, so they're really going to be quite important in the vote on climate. And what we want to do is push them onto the right side of the fence, into supporting strong climate legislation. And after the students decided that that's what they wanted to do, then we started developing skills, media skills, organizing skills, and putting the pieces together. The students did a lot of organizing on campus of letters, getting letters to deliver to the senators, thinking about how to use this wind tower event as a communication platform. Some students went and lobbied a staff person of Olympia Snow, and now they're working on a more elaborate communication media strategy which involves letters to the editor and opinion pieces in Maine newspapers. Just to continue to put political pressure on those senators.
Here we are at the Bar Harbor Farmers Market. It's Sunday and it's raining and everybody's out here still. And we came here to interview the farmers to see how climate change is impacting them.
As an American, I am contributing 25% of the carbon footprint, the carbon into the atmosphere that's endangering the planet.
It's a very intimate kind of relationship between the farmer and the land and the weather.
It's different this year. It was a little bit different last year, but it's much different this year. And I expect that it'll be even more different next year.
An increase in the amount of heat in the atmosphere is an increase in the amount of energy in the weather system. And we can't really tell what that's going to do. It might make it rain like for 3 months of the year, and that would be the end, basically the end of farming as we know it if it did that.
And it's just all around messed everything up. It really has. I don't know, because everybody, well, a lot of people know, that this is happening. Yeah, it's really, I guess, coming down to it, it's really happening, but a lot of it is just, most of it is our own fault. People's money, they're too greedy, and they want money all the time.
We might not be able to grow warm season crops like tomatoes and peppers and these things that are kind of marginal for us now. We might not be able to grow them at all.
I have one greenhouse. I have some farms that pretty much expand their greenhouse because of season extension. In Maine, we're limited with a shorter growing season. Last year I had grain all through my season, and already the main source is sold out. So we'll be getting ours from Canada and Champlain Valley.
It's a shame, but as far as I'm concerned, when it all falls through, right, I'm still going to be growing as well as the rest of us here. I'm going to be growing and eking out our own livelihood. With the rest of them, they can eat their dollar bills as far as I'm concerned.
And all I've said is sort of just the tip of the iceberg. This is something that we have to work on internationally. We have to address with every fiber of our being.
It's been generating power now for 2 weeks almost. But this is a great fun occasion, and I want to welcome you all here. I particularly want to welcome Andrew Briscoe and Sean Noyes from Senator Snow and Collins' office, respectively. I would hope that this kind of is also a window into our future, and that we can imagine a time when we don't have to send any electricity onto Mount Desert Island.
A few weeks ago, Senator Collins said, and I quote, "The impact of your actions will make a difference today for 7 generations to come." We wholeheartedly agree. It's our collective action that will make the difference in the lives of the next generations and beyond. The students in the wind power class are taking the first step to create a renewable energy economy. Maine has the second highest energy cost in the country. We cannot afford to continue relying upon non-renewable, non-local sources of energy. But we also have a solution. We, as a state, have the potential to become energy independent. The most remarkable thing about this turbine is that it harnesses local energy that is both economically viable and environmentally sustainable. Imagine how many green jobs we could create if we keep harnessing local energy throughout the state. A few weeks ago, Senator Collins also stated that sitting on the sidelines cannot be an option when it comes to climate change. We are not sitting on the sidelines. Students are creating alternative sources of energy, running climate campaigns, and becoming involved citizens. We need more motivated individuals, such as the ones here today, to harvest alternative sources of energy. Our elected officials should follow our lead and support strong climate legislation that would fund renewable energy and create clean energy jobs in Maine. Thank you.
And believe you me, there's a lot of politics in terms of just setting one small turbine in a community. You have to figure out ways to communicate to the general public about the importance of this turbine. We have to talk about dollars and cents with them, environmental impacts, and a lot of different things. And what we've learned is if you want to have a project like this in a community, the first thing you have to do is to get participation from the community.
But yeah, I mean, I think this event was a big success, and I was really surprised at all the different people from different walks of life from the community who came out in support of this. I really feel it's been a positive initiative, both for the school is taking a really important step for renewable energy, but also just because we're really engaging the community at large. From elementary school students to just residents to people with different nonprofits, and we even had a few people from the media here. So just that exposure, I think, is really good.
It's really been frustrating the last couple of weeks because what we hear from Capitol Hill and certainly the behavior that we've seen of the Obama administration at the last bond negotiating session is not optimistic in terms of the U.S. position internationally. We really expected more from the Obama administration. In a sense, it's what we should have expected, that this is still going to be a tough political fight.
I wanted to give you this fact sheet about the wind tower and just the, it's also just about wind power in Maine.